If I want to get to my equal to with the cell over there, I can try this. I can go to the Analyze tab and then try to work on working off the data and try to say, okay, go here, equal to this cell.
One question.
Yes.
On the pivot table earlier you showed, how did you get that the subtotals in the hierarchy?
It's by default. If I go there, for example, I have to switch off from here. They're by default over there. It is now not available. These are available now.
Oh, okay.
They're by default there. If it is not, you can try it from here. So online analytical processing, one of the shortcuts is that. Yes.
Hey, with these pivot tables, at least in the output that you're getting, you showed early on Copilot the output graphically. Is there, how do we, is there like a way of just doing the automatic of do we just drop this particular request into Copilot for this, for graphical output on this, for the dashboards, things like that?
So you're trying to say that how do we get that?
What I'm saying to you is like if I decide to move my data into a pivot table, like what I would do is I'd move it from the ERP or from the cloud solution. I'd move it into my Excel, and then I would actually run that into a pivot. I'll create a pivot table, but I'd like the output. See, looking at this data is fine, but I like the output illustratively into some kind of dashboard or bar graph or donut. It just depends on what's the best way or what solution is the best way to show the information. Does Copilot say, does it give you, like what you showed earlier, you showed multiple solutions for the illustration. And I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to show that data. Will Copilot assist you with that?
And will we be able to use via lookup with that too?
Lookup will also work, but lookup is something else. What he's saying is, can I get a one-shot answer, for example, using a kind of a Copilot and see my kind of a dashboard in one shot, and I can modify that later? Is it that you're saying, Dexter?
Yeah, I would say it's not. Yeah, I would say being able to take the same data points that you're showing here, correct? The hierarchy or the crosstabs, and inputting that into Copilot, provide me a digital illustration, a bar or the best illustration for summarizing the data, right? So I'm looking at, there are multiple time series, you have donuts, you have bar graphs. And what I'd like to do is inquire to Copilot, best illustration for data points. As an example, because you showed me multiple options in the far right. Hey, these are different dashboards or different illustrations, I should say, excuse me, not dashboards, different illustrations that can come out of Copilot. Now, when I saw the output that you did for the crosstabs and the hierarchy, what I'd like to do is be able to say, Copilot, provide illustration for hierarchy as an example, right? And it'll probably provide you the most ideal to give you the summary. Would that not be how you use it, by putting that prompt in?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to go too far without seeing some of the.
That's valid point, Dexter. I love when you bring up stuff. Thank you.
Yeah,
you're welcome. Welcome.
I guess everybody like that. So this is the crosstab I'm trying to say over here. That's a comment available there. So if I click on the data here, it will not go to my output which I've made already. For example, it will not copy from there. I'll pick up this and apply this over here. So create a crosstab pivot to show data in the row side and zone in column side by quantity. So if I click that and apply that here. Number one, I'm telling you this. Number two, one more thing is coming up. That number two doesn't come up every time. Sometimes you have a problem. But this will give me the answer for that. I must know how to, as I mentioned earlier. So it says, here's a crosstab showing that. You want to apply that? Let me apply that. So that's a crosstab. You can see that over here. That's a cross tab that we can see here. And if I try to copy that, then wonder where is it? Give it a click. Here we are. I got a pay special. So this is not 962, 962, 49246 is 49246.
That's fine. Fine.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm getting that answer here using this particular, let me just rename that so it will be easy for you. It's a co-pilot.
Because I think what's interesting, Jay, all the stuff we just did in the pivot table, we did in a matter of seconds on Copilot.
Yes, it does. It does. So I don't have to apply so much of an effort in that case. The fill by zero can be customized in my settings I told you earlier. So the output will automatically go with the filters with the zeros in that case automatically there. But I can get that answer here using this.
Well, let's assume this. Let's assume we didn't use Copilot to get the crosstab answers. We did through our pivot table analysis because that's kind of how we've been taught. We still have to learn Copilot. The output that we got from the crosstabs or the hierarchy, let's just say we started from there because that's what we are used to doing on our own, not asking Copilot to do that.
Exactly.
What's the best way to ask or to prompt Copilot to provide us an illustration?
Okay.
Or as a graphical illustration.
I get you. We got to have the same kind of a language because after trying multiple options, I actually went back to Oracle and saw how does a pivot table work over there. So Oracle says it's a crosstab. So I thought, let me try that over here. All the pivot table insights also says a crosstab always, but generally speaking, we don't find that word across many people. But then when I saw that in Oracle, I thought that should work here also. When I was examining my prompts, I saw that it works fine, which is why I gave this. So we have to learn these prompts, how to give this. We can't be sure that what is the way we can speak out to Copilot and get the prompts available there. We have to learn this if I apply Copilot. Without Copilot,
let me say something, Jay. Let me say one more thing. Because you see how you're able to do the crosstab just from this main spreadsheet? My mind hasn't processed it and how to write that for the output. That's why I keep bringing you back to how you broke up the hierarchy, crosstabs, and summary. That's how I process it first. But you processed it on this spreadsheet before we went to those, before we actually broke down broke them down separately. And you did that by asking the prompt to give that to you, right? When it gave it to you, it gave it the same output that you did with 2 and 3 and 4 steps. I'm not able to process this chart with the question right away. I'd literally have to go through the summary, the hierarchy, the crosstabs, and I'd have to do enough iteration to be able to
Jay,
see
I'm
that.
kind of having that same issue too, because I didn't know how you got it either to get all of those between from the beginning to the hierarchy as well, because I was trying to figure that out when you got it, when you came back to this one, this original spreadsheet.
Okay. So,
But at the end of the day, Jay, when you go back to your outputs, what is the illustration? I want you to show us the illustration, how to use Copilot for the quick graphs or for the or for the illustrations or for the time series of donuts or whatever. Is there a question or prompt you can say, what's the best illustration or what illustration best aligns to crosstab data or you know, is there ask that to Copilot? Or does it just automatically take its own chart based on the fields and on the rows and columns?
see, if I ask that to Copilot specifically, I can do that. But if I ask a general question to Copilot, it might not give me all the answers I'm expecting. It might give me its own choice of answers that it might have with it. But going back to the earlier content which you were saying earlier, I thought you were not clear about how could I make it, I would say, the cross-step finally. It's not a sequence I have to go through summary and then hierarchy, then cross-step. That's not the point. I can make any pivot table anytime. All of us know that very well. But as far as Copilot is concerned, I have to specify those languages, those words over there to form that language. I can't expect Copilot to make everything by default for me because that's what I want finally. I have to describe it manually. In case you're concerned about how did I make it, is that the speed you're talking about? How did I make it so fast or so easy? And the concepts have to be more clear. I can repeat that as well. That is what I'm trying to say.
No, it's not a matter. I think you might be interpreting my question a little wrong. You're looking at this master data chart here.
Yeah.
And you're able to ask the appropriate question cross tabs.
Correct. Yeah.
But you're looking at row and column. You see how you broke down row column variant? That's something that has to be ingrained on how, on what the columns and fields relational database means, right? Now, I'm saying to you, because I'm not as astute as you are, I'd have to go into a pivot table first to understand what I'm doing, which is okay. The other question I have for you is, let's just say what you just did in Copilot on this master data, it spit out the crosstab without a problem. Can you also now take the crosstab output that you receive on Copilot, and what would be the prompt to say, provide ideal graphical illustration? Is that what you have for the?
Yes, I can do that. Yeah.
Okay, that's one question. Before we go any further, can you do the same thing? Of course, right? If we did them separately on our own, best graphical illustration. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see the graphical illustration.
I see. I get you.
I'm sorry, guys. I just want to make sure that.
That's very important. Absolutely no problem.
That's what this course is about. That's what we need to see.
Exactly.
I have Copilot on my computer and I don't know how to use it very well.
Yeah.
At least you have it. I'm trying to get it. I can't get it on 365. We'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's absolutely important. We'll have a break a little later. Let me finish this part first. Where are we? We are here. So that's my pivot output. I should say that clearly here. Yes, I can go to the cross tab here, go to the Copilot here. So we know the tabs are here. It will work on the given data and try to make an appropriate chart in this case. The combos are not made. Currently, I don't analyze pivot table, it says. Can you see that? If I go to the one it's made by itself, for example, over here, it doesn't work on that as well. Charts have the issues in this case. This is the cross tab it made earlier. And yeah, this is the one. So if I select this one, because this is not a pivot table, let's delete that. Let's delete that. Let's format it. So you can analyze the data and it can work on that. It gives the directions to me. It doesn't make one by itself. It gives a direction because it doesn't work on the cross tab directly. It doesn't work on the pivot table. Sorry, it doesn't work on the pivot table separately. When I come to the charts, I explain it there also. Combos and some charts can't be made in pivot table. If you're deep into charts, you will realize that when we make a histogram available from the data analysis toolpack and from the charts available, there are different histograms available there. Deeper into it, I'm not going to confusing you over there, but histogram cannot be made from the pivot chart available there. Sorry, it can be made from the raw data only. Likewise, in the Copilot, I can't have the chart made from the pivot table charts. Even if the format is of the pivot table, it will not make.
One quick question before the break. So there is just two questions, let's say. Is there audio prompting available? I see there is a kind of a button there. Not sure. If, instead of writing the prompt, can we just say?
Yeah, I mentioned that. I did that earlier. No? Yeah, we can do that.
So one more question, Jay. So you're telling me the only way to get the illustrations that we're looking for is to take it from the master data by inquiring how essentially the master sheet, you requested information, you get the crosstabs. which is what it output. It gave you the output. Can you also, since once we understand the columns relational database to do that, could you have also asked for the best way for the crosstab illustration chart? Could you have done that? Because you evidently did the crosstabs from this master data. And you're saying because it can't read pivot tables, it's going to have to take it from this master data. Correct?
Yeah. So it doesn't
Now-
work efficiently on that. Yeah, please.
Okay, now that you did that and you got the crosstabs, that means if we knew enough to understand X, Y column works and the variance work, we should also be able to ask for a graphical illustration from the output of a crosstab, correct?
Should be able to,
Because
but
we're taking it from this master data. We're not taking it from the pivot tables.
yes.
Okay. Would you be able to craft a question? I want to see the same way you asked for the crosstab data points. I want to ask you to provide an illustration for that crosstab output that you received off this master data.
I got you. It doesn't work like that. We tried that already. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't give me the answer for that. Presently, there are some hang-ups with the charts.
Okay, well, separate. And
Yeah.
the output that came here to the far right, if you go up to the top, can you go up a little bit further? I'll show you your output. Let's go
Yeah.
up the far right to the Copilot, where the messages, where the text. No, not the bottom. The far right, where the messages are for Copilot. No. Go to your
These are the
Copilot
messages.
messaging.
These are the messages.
Well, to your far right, you have it up to the top. I want you to go to your far right of the screen.
Yeah.
In the Copilot section.
Yeah, please go up. Please go up. Go up to your message.
Scroll up.
Keep
That's
going.
what it's saying.
Keep going. Okay, this output here.
Yes.
Can you now turn around and ask for the action or graphical output off of this?
Okay. That can be a subsequent question. I understand that. Once you have the output from Copilot, for example, after the output is generated, we can always ask a subsequent question. So if I go to this, that should be taken as my latest output here. So if I go here, new sheet, it's okay. Then below that, we'll find that here.
Can we just not like type in and say that create a graphical, something based on this table?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that going to be inputted in table 9? Is that it's sheet 9? I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't work on the pivot table as I said earlier. So that might be the prompt again. So 1 in 20 cases, I got the answer. Currently, I don't analyze pivot tables and charts in sheets.
Hmm.
That's the problem.
So again, the analyze data tab or the button is next to Copilot. And you said analyze data is not related to Copilot, right?
No, it is not related, honestly. The
But the
functionality of the
analyze
data-
data can do a lot of charts and graphs and all that, 6, 7 different presentation.
Okay.
So what is the use of using Copilot if it
I
has
can
so
go
many
and I
limitations?
can do my condition formatting in a smart way. I can do my sorting. I can do my filters with Copilot. That's the use. That's the advantage. Presently, we don't have a good, I would say, support, which is very surprising because it's on one way giving us a good analysis tool back available here. On the other side, we can't find that over here. It can take help from here only. This engine can take help of this engine and provide me the answer, which I'm not getting. But then it's surprising we don't get it over here. We have it over here. We don't have it over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So maybe the same thing Copilot should adopt from the analyzed data.
They are doing it.
I'm sure that must be in the next version and all that.
It must be coming up. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
And version is that going to be in the new version that they just kicked off for Microsoft?
Yeah, could be there. Could be there.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think that's what it is. Just hasn't been kicked off to everybody yet.
Yeah. So if I go here, one more question was there. If I go here, for example, so we remember we tried this over here, so I can work on this and say, I can speak out. I mentioned that earlier, it doesn't matter. We can try that again. I can speak now, just hold on. Sort the data on area plus sale with sale in ascending order. So it's taking my command verbally over here. That's the data it has to work on. Apply. It's done. See, so I mentioned, I spoke out my command over here. I spoke out my command over here. It took the command. Once I speak out my command, I can then press enter. Then the mic will go off like that. That's what it is.
Can you please repeat that? I thought.
Yeah, we do that. I'll do. I click on the mic here. Presently, they don't have a shortcut for this. I click on a mic here. For example, look at this. I'll give a very short command. Sort the data on product column. Okay, so just wait. I'm clicking on the mic now. Sort the data on product column. I pressed enter after that, and you can see it's working. So I didn't have to type it out over there. Apply. That's a product column sort. You can speak out using a mic over here. And these give me extra commands, extra prompts over here, additional prompts over here. So going next to the charts available there, for example, we see that when we apply the charts over there, I had to mention that finally, but then we've gone through that already and seen some of the options available that charts do not make up very easily. However, it's a learning curve. It can take the turn from here or there, doesn't matter. So let's go for charts right away. The tabs get collected over here. Power BI tabs, they get selected over here. PowerPoint, Word, these tabs get collected over here. There are multiple tabs. So going to the next part here, for example, we get the charts in this case. So we can make all of these hierarchy I've told you. I can make a hierarchy also in this case. I can pick up this, pick up my data. Let's try this vocally this time, orally this time. Let's first make it here. Yeah. You got to select a cell over here. Control F1 to hide the ribbon band. Create a hierarchy pivot table to show dealer and variant in row side and quantity in value side. Oh, I missed the mic. So I can say value side, value section. As I keep learning, I can apply any of these options available there. So I'll click on the mic once again. Create a hierarchy pivot to show dealer and variant in row, section, and quantity in value section.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
Enter. I have to press enter after that. And then it will work on that to show me the one created by pivot table also. With the Copilot, of course. Eventually, we want to make it through Copilot. That gives us some more support available there. Eventually, that happens. Here's a hierarchy pivot showing data. And okay, go here. What's the Copilot hierarchy that we can see over here? That's for the variant and the data available there. So we could have done the other way around. That also works. This was the outlier example.
What is the significance of like filter in the pivot? Like I see like in one of the boxes on the right.
On the right where?
On the right, like where it says like drag fields areas below. Yeah, here is filter.
Yeah, these are the sections. The filter, okay, we're asking filter. So I can go here and pick up my, some bigger group entry, for example, which is a kind of a global entry. For example, regions, countries, they are global entries. So I can pick up the zone here, for example, put that in filters over here, and I get that here. I can get that like this and pick up a north zone, for example. So this data is only for north.
Okay.
Yeah, this is only for south.
So it show like something outside of the table.
Yes.
And then okay, I got
And
you.
the control on the table. So I can really apply multiple also and say, okay, I want my south and west together, for example. I can't see the difference over here because I don't have the zone inside this, but that's a combination. So combination will not make much sense because I don't have the caption to hold my combination, which caption is for what particular entry, for example. So multiples will not make much sense unless I want to see a collective entry for that matter. So uncheck and check all for that matter. Other advantage I must tell you here, because we touched on the filter also, I can go to the, since I've made my north and then south and then east separately, for example, suppose there are countries available, cities available, I can then go to pivot table, analyze over here, go to options, in this case, show report filter pages. Whatever entries I put up in report filter pages, it can be more than one also. I can apply this and pick up one or more, for example, I'll pick up one only, and then I'll see my outputs available here. So this is like north output. Can you see that? Sorry, east output, then north, then south, then west. Created by pivot table automatically when I went to this option here, wherever it was. I'm lost. So it was this on this, whatever it was. Here, so the outputs that I made over there for pivot table, that gave me the output binary for the work in that case. So any of these that I made over there, okay, was one of the outputs I made from the filters that I see over there. The output is finally at the end. Yeah, I realized that here. It's somewhere here, this one, yeah. So when I apply the filters over here, I've got the option available. I can then see my filters output in separate sheets. One short answer. One short answer, we can get that over here. So this I tried with Copilot, could not get the success even after 20 calls. Maybe in the next 21st call, I can get the success, but I never know that. But we tried that, it didn't work well. So I had to do it manually only in this case. But the option is really very good. If I want to see my separate pivot table, for example, for one governing body above that, one governing group above that, for example, I can put that in the filter section and try to go to the pivot table options here, and then try to go to the options here, and then try to show report filter pages. So for multiple sheet pivots, analyze, I'm writing that in short, analyze, options, report filter pages. You must first apply one major group in filter section of pivot table pages. That's here. That's here. Pivot table pages. Enter. That will now show up. That's here in the pivot table. There we are. Pivot table page. These are the drag pins over here. That's what I'm talking about. If I have to first set up my group heading over here, then for multiple sheets, I can go to analyze. We are here, analyze, then go to options, then show report filter pages, and make your choice from there. That's how it can work for multiple sheets. Okay, that's how it can work. Fine, so let's go for the next example. This one I showed you as an example for my pivot table, which was here. They're quite disconnected right now. I'll clean up the sheet and give you all the pivots and the outputs in one location when I send the file back to you for the LMS purpose. So I'll show that later. And I'll organize these names also properly so you can have a good direction available and not confused in this case what is what. I'll push these to the right side over here for reference purpose. And 40 minutes to go. We got a good job on VLOOKUP also to be done, XLOOKUP also. These are single functions available as a good reference available there. Examples are given there. Proper examples are given over here. And I can use these examples for my reference work, for example. All count examples are given here. If I want to have my count available on data, that is count will count the numbers only, which is why I can see 3 only. There are 3 numbers in this case. If I say 500 here, I see 4 numbers here. So all the examples are given. The explanation is here. Count numbers only, this answer. Count alpha plus numbers, this answer, that's count A over here. Count blanks only, this answer. Count text only, this answer. That's counting text only. So this contains my number as well as text, the answer is 2. This contains 1 blank, the answer is 1. This contains alpha plus numbers, alpha plus numbers, answer is 5. So if I have another one here, for example, I get 6 over here. Okay, these are count examples. These are count examples. Flashfill is a fairly good option available here. If I have A105 over here and then A106 over here, I can see Flashfill should show me the response. If it doesn't show, I can go down and press Control E. Control E for English. So if I press Control E, or I can get to the data tab here and apply Flashfill over here, that's Control E. Click on that, I get the fill available there. I can try that here, for example. Sahil, Ralchu, and then apply that. Control E, that works fine. So these are the examples that we can see. Date examples are quite interesting. We can see all the examples over here. Since I'm already in that case, and that's what I've discussed with you. If you go back to the sheet here, which I recall, I've got this sheet here. If I pick up that data here, for example, and with the comma separated values, if I go here and press enter, and if I apply Flashfill here, so I can have the variant here, name and type. So if I say coffee, for example, uppercase, lowercase matters. If I say lowercase coffee, for example, and then as I T, for example, then if I do that here, for example, Control E, that works absolutely fine, but the case matters. I give it in lowercase, okay? So if I try that in uppercase here, for example, cold, hot, ice, hot, it should come automatically normally, but if it doesn't come, you can apply this Control E, for example, we get that separated. So I don't need that complete separation there that we tried earlier, for example, over here. That's text before and text after, we see that over there. But the choice is completely ours. Depending on the situation, we can try that. Sometimes I've got my extra data available. I just pull the formula down and the job is done. So I don't have to apply Flashfill again. That I can do. So that also can work. So Flashfill is available here also. It's available everywhere, in fact. The point is, I can do Flashfill on this data also, which has commas and dashes also. So returning back to our sheet, I can go to that sheet, right click, and then the charts over here. There we are. I was mentioning that earlier also, that we cannot have the combo charts available. But if I go for simple charts available, for example, I can simply go here. These are the prompts given for the charts here. They don't make a combo chart, but the other charts can be made. So I can really go here and say, create a column chart for the given data. Given data is a very generic term I can give all the time, for example, because it works on the given data. I don't have to give the range. Early days in Copilot, November 2022, 23, when we saw Copilot coming up, for example, at least we saw that time in India. Then we saw that, okay, we have to give the range all the time, but then I tested out and I saw that given data is sufficient for this. So if I try that here, for example, with the dialog again over here, create a column chart for the given data. So I pressed enter after that. Yep, there we are. Here's a column chart based on a prompt. Example, Alisa is 300 in north and 415 south. Alisa and 300 north and 415 south. Go to the new sheet, or I can get it here also. But if I go here and say this here, column chart, there we are. This one, and I get the answer over here. That's okay. Or I can try, for example, Alt F1, only for column chart. Although I can make a change to the shortcut and make it for pie chart also. But if my column chart is quite common, I'm sorry, My column chart is quite common. I can work on that. By default, Excel gives us a column chart. I can convert that and make it for pie chart or the line chart also. But if I go for Alt F1 now, for example, I can get the chart here. That's what we can see. I can align the chart borders along with the cell borders over here by using the Alt key. There are 8 resize handles. There are 8 resize handles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 on the corners, 4 on the sides. There are 8 resize handles, but I can use the Alt key to resize exactly on the cell border like that. So I go here, hold the Alt key, and very respectfully, I can drag it to the right side. It matches the line on the right side, the border on the cell. There we are. And I can use the corner also and work fine with this. There we are. And then we apply the title. We often apply the title here. Inside that, we apply the title. No, that's also there, very much there. But we can apply something like this. I click on the title border over here. I can click on the title border over here, press equal to on the keyboard, and this icon prompts with the Copilot. I tried that number of times. Whenever I got the chance, I tried that. It didn't do that. You can't try that over there. So click on the border I'm saying, press equal to, click on a cell over here and press enter. And you can see my chart title is also connected. So if I go back here and try to see 2019 here, for example, I can get 2019 here as well, press enter, get that over here.
So this is a Copilot chart that you're showing us that you just created?
We
Or
made
is
that
this,
Copilot also over here. I didn't go to the new sheet. It's the same chart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Quick question. I know like the Copilot doesn't make the chart based on the pivot, but you can create the charts without using Copilot from the pivot table, right?
Yeah, we can do that. We've been doing that a lot of times. Yeah, that's right. Without the Copilot, we've been doing that a lot of times. Yeah.
Okay. So you've already covered that? Like maybe I missed it. Like is this in the video?
I'm not clear in that case, I think. I'm saying, you're saying that can we make it without the Copilot? Yeah, we can make it without the Copilot. Click a cell here, then press the combination like this, Alt and then F1 over here. That makes a chart. Or I can go to insert chart here, for example, and the chart is here. That's what I
Okay, all right. That's good. That's good. Okay, all right. That's all I want to know. Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, I'm going back to the question that the gentleman just asked.
Yes.
So because a lot of times we have our own spreadsheets that we're getting output off of, right? If we were, and again, guys, I'm sorry if I'm going back to this. I know how to do the chart from what you just showed, but if we wanted to, just as an example, take a cell from, let's say, market Q3 or say Elisa or 300 and just put that in there and say, provide a chart, and that spit that out. You see what you just did? You analyze B7014 on your far right. It says create a column chart for the given data. It doesn't matter because we have our own. It's not a pivot table. They will actually do it for you, correct? Essentially, the Copilot, without having to go through all these other moves. If we just did exactly what you wrote here, create a column chart for the given data, and we just pick the cell, it would just give you the best output of the chart. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. The one that we create with the pivot table, it doesn't work. In the flat chart, in the flat data, it's working fine. But I made a flat pivot table data also. It didn't work time because it could assess, I guess, that is the cross tab. So cross tab maybe it doesn't work fine. But here it can work. I can really go here and try to apply that. That prompt over here is working absolutely fine. We saw that earlier also. This is the one.
Yes.
Yeah, but here we can go directly and try to press Alt F1 or try to go to insert chart over here and get this over here easily. These are the options readily available there. Pivot chart, of course, is a problem. Yeah. I don't know if I'm able to answer that correctly or not. So the border here equal to the cell here, enter. We have to go through these steps in any case. And then the labels here, these are here. Outside is the best option. So we can see numbers outside in this case. That's what we can find over here. If I try this here, for example, create a pie chart for the given data, I'll go over here. Create a pie chart for the given data. Now, what is a series, for example? It says it's a single series, okay? It's a pie chart that is made over here. That'll be similar to what I make manually also for that matter. So I can, it's a kind of a observation it's telling over here. So I can go here and make a pie chart from here. Same chart, exactly same chart, isn't it? Now, important part is when I see series over here, if I go here, it says series north. If I see this, it says series south. And this one, it says series ref 300. This one, series ref 300. This one, series ref 300. See that? So series is basically the numeric column over here. In the data, that's my series, that's my series. If I say the column chart, for example, over here, that can go to 50 series easily. More than that is a clutter. More than that is a crowd over there. 50 series is good. But in the case of a pie chart, it's always a single series. It's always a single series. It shows me the table across, for example, but works on a single series. Additionally, I can go inside, for example, over here and work on the filters and apply ref 300. That's refrigerator, model 300 and model 500. Apply that over here and the chart changes. So you can apply that like that and work with that. Of course, the outline numbers can be displayed over here. That makes more sense. And the legend can go off, for example, delete it from here. I want to display the categories. I can go inside and go to more options over here. And say, give me the category name here. So I don't require the legend. It's more closer with the category over here. That makes more sense. But if I go for the next one, if I don't have these buttons here, in some earlier versions, we don't have these buttons. I can right click here, go to select option over here, select data, for example, and then try to use this option and uncheck this and apply that. That's 300 over here. And you can see the labels are gone. So I have to customize that again for this filter also, for this filter also, of course, and apply that again in this case using the category name over here. So now when I go back again, for example, for ref 500, it changes and works like that. Makes a better sense in this case. That's a pie chart. So it can make a pie chart from here. But if I go for a combo chart, what is a combo chart and why do we make it? Combo chart is required when we have two values which are quite different values, quite contrasting values, for example. That's a combo chart that we can see over there. Contrasting values are there. The values are in numbers like thousands over there. And this is like under 1. This is below 1, for example. Okay. So if I see these values over here, I have to make a combo chart because one side is this one and the other side is this one, for example. So to start a combo chart, I can go to recommended charts also here, for example, like this. And pick up a combo chart. It's the first recommendation it has because it can see the numbers are quite invariant over here. There's a quite contrast in the numbers over here. So it picks up the best recommendation is a combo chart like that. I can apply that and see that over here. And that shows like this and keep it somewhere here. Keep it somewhere here. How to make one yourself? Now, why should I make myself? Okay, why should I make myself? Because sometimes it might not suggest me a combo chart. And I feel I must make a combo chart to represent my data, which is in two series, but they're quite apart, for example. One would be quantity, one would be value. They're related, but quite apart. Revenue is related from here. Somewhere the calculation must be there. That's the revenue for this particular value. Okay, fine. So there could be the relationship, I understand that. But the requirement can be a user requirement that I want a combo chart, but the recommendation doesn't show a combo chart here. So there's no recommendation for the combo chart. Suppose that happens. How can I make a combo chart like this? Combo chart is made out of a column chart. So if I instruct Copilot to create a combo chart here, it's trying to make it, but till it didn't give me the answer. Never ever. Once also, I never got the answer. So it says, I can't do that yet, but here are a few steps to follow. So it guides me, how can I do that? So it can't do that right now. Okay, it will come up as we know all. It will come up one day and we'll have combo chart and some more fantastic charts coming up there. I'm also waiting for histogram to make up from the pie chart. Pivot table, for example, we can't make it right now, but then we can make it later. But then when it comes, okay. How to make a combo chart from the base column chart, for example. So I can press Alt F1 and my chart over here. I can see that my chart made is basically containing revenue also, but I can't see revenue anywhere because my value is here, for example, from 0 to 200 in this case, for example. Therefore, the value between 0 and 1 is quite tiny in this case, quite small in this case. It will never plot over here. And this value is below 1. 1 we know is equal to 100%. 1 is equal to 100%. We all know that very well. Okay. So therefore, 0.5 will be below 1, isn't it? And 0.5 is 50%. We know that very well. So I can go to the chart here, and you can see the gap is wider because it's trying to plot the revenue here. The gap is not so wide here because the next chart is here. It's fine. This gap is basically normal. But this gap is slightly wider in this case, yeah? Because it's trying to plot it over here. It can't plot it over here. So I can right click over here and go to the series chart type. I do not have to go to right click, change chart type. No, that is not the point. Series, remember, I have to open series, right? So I can right click on the series and go to change series chart type over here. It shows me all the options over here, but these are different options. I'm getting different options. They are slightly more, they're slightly less. Revenue is here over here. I can convert that to a line chart with markers. Now this one is important. Line chart with marker is better than line chart over here. When we study charts in detail, so in one session, not in one session in half an hour, I'm saying one session containing like 2-3 days, for example, we study about 15 charts in Excel and we are expert in that. Looking at the table, I can tell you what chart can you make and what you cannot make. Looking at the chart, I can tell you, and you can tell me also, once you learn that this chart doesn't contain one element of the data available there. We have to be the expert in that level, and we do that. But that is quite overwhelming for the time being, for example. So in short, I'm saying that we should go for the fourth chart in the line option mostly. Yeah, that's with markers. And you see that line over there, put that on secondary axis so I can see my number in percentages over here and this over here. Okay, and that fairly matches with the chart made by Excel recommended chart. See that clearly matches. Yeah, and that one is a line without markers. This one is with markers. So at the turn of the chart, I can see the marker variable there. That makes more sense of the data. That's line with markers. So it cannot make a combo chart over here at all. It cannot make a pivot table chart also. It cannot make a graphical representation from a pivot table also. We saw that earlier. Tree map is again what it cannot make. We can try that here. Create a tree map chart from the given data. This should be easy. I don't know why it doesn't make that. Maybe it will give us this before the combo chart available there. This is more for the leaders, not leadership, sorry. There's more for the dealership available there. So I can't do that over here. It gives me the guidance available there. Hierarchy chart or tree map. Okay, one of this. It's more of a level chart, hierarchy chart, or a tree map. More for the dealership branches, captains who have the dealers below them, for example. Like that. Dealership examples are the location examples are these, for example. So I can go here and pick up this is a copy of this chart over here. Exactly same set available here. So I can go to the tree map here. This is a tree map here. More for the dealership purposes, for example, the branches across, for example. And I can see this, I can go. Some effort is required, honestly, to pick up this and then make it bigger. For example, say 14, for example, here, this also. It's one by one. We have no choice of combining that together. Control B bold. I can further format it, but let's leave it. So important part is I can really have my leaders over here or the dealers over here, for example. And then if I make a change here, for example, make it 900, for example, this Hyderabad goes beyond that. For example, press enter and the entire set goes over here like this. So I can see my dealership instance play over here. I can't get that from Copilot, but I can get it from here. So that's a good example of a hierarchy chart available there with the tree map available there, showing us a good comparison there. We can have the labels also. I can really go to the labels here. My data is getting saved regularly. Please remember that I'm on OneDrive. I don't have to press Control S quite often. I can really continue my working in that case. Yes, if the net is slow, sometimes it might matter sometimes, but I keep a copy on my desktop always. Okay. So we go here, for example, data labels in this case, and apply more data labels in this case, apply the value over here, and that should be the numbers also. Here we are. So the numbers make more sense now. That's what we can see. Okay, and plus I can delete my legend from here and keep the title over there only in that case, because the colors are identified by the headings over there very clearly. And then if I have a change here, for example, say 500, for example, over here, the shift happens within the category. That was here, and now it is here. They're same, but progress has happened over there. That's why it's showing that. I hide up that. And then brings the category completely in the left side. Okay, so that's about charts that we have over here. That's about charts. More on the charts. When we discuss charts later, sometime if we meet again, for example, then when we see the charts over here, for example, these are quite related with 2 or 3 common factors running through them. These are quite related with 2 or 3 common factors running through them. Once you learn those factors properly, you will see that you've learned about 13 to 14 charts, not in one shot, of course, like 1 to 2 hours. And you learned all these charts and saw the meaning of it completely. Okay, I know when the stack chart is to be made. I know when the border chart, the bar chart is to be made. So this one is not a bar chart, it's a column chart. These are the bars. The bar chart is this.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
That's a bar chart.
And it's a quick question for you.
Yes.
And I don't know if, do you have a cheat sheet on the charts and the most, and again, most of us use charts, but sometimes what chart is best, like for time series, or do you have a cheat sheet on each one of those charts as to what their best usage for or their best output is for? Just as an example, you see how you went to your charts? Don't get me wrong, guys, but I want to make sure, like sometimes I'll use a donut for breaking things down, or I'll use a pie chart. But would you happen to have like, and I guess we can do this on our own, a cheat sheet for each area that says, hey, this chart best does X, or just curious if you have anything like that.
Absolutely. That's a distributed chart over there. It's a complete lecture over there in PowerPoint, for example. I'll collect that and make a complete cheat sheet for the charts only and send it to LMS. I'll do that. But
Thank you, Jen.
Thanks for adding that. And could you add the one that we use for usage too, for on the backside for the Splunk teams for reporting, if you have it?
The blank one.
Now, you're doing the front end UI side. Do you have reported for the usage, like a data center side for big data reporting?
Yeah, the recordings.
You're doing the front.
Yeah, the recordings are there.
Huh?
Recordings are there. Support, support. Dinesh?
Yeah. Do you do that kind of reporting too?
I thought we had a couple of more important chapters are there, lookups and all that. So
Yes, we're doing that right now.
okay.
Shifting to that
Thank you.
only. Yeah. We still have time. So this I've covered already. This part and this part I'll do right now. And this I'll show a synopsis in this case. The others we've covered already. Okay. So we look very important requirement, for example. So I have VLOOKUP here. It's got a search box available, not the search box really, search value. And then the range available there, and then the column index number over here. And then the match style over here, which should be either a false or a 0, for example. That's what we see. So, but try to search the data for Arnab, for example. This is Arnab not available there. Let's put that over here. Yeah. If we try to find the data for Arnab, for example, I can find the data across like that using a VLOOKUP. It basically goes like this. We got to work on a table available, which is a huge table, for example. It's like this, a big table like that, for example. That's a big table. But because I'm searching a value, which is basically a name column, so my range should be starting from the name column like this. Although my table is bigger, but I got to start from the name column because I'm searching a name over here. So this part will actually be starting from here, not from here. This is my search value that will be here. This is my search value that goes here in VLOOKUP. But the range will be starting from here, name column, and go across like that, for example. The third part is my column index number. That's my answer. That's my answer for VLOOKUP. And that is the column number I want. I want sale as my answer. And say it happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 over here. That is my answer. That's my sale over here. That's the sixth number over here. That will be the column index number. Match is always false or a 0, which means exact match. We always want exact match. We want exact match always. That's what we can find over here. That's exact match for particular answer over there. So let's go for this and try to apply that. And see how it works. I've got one more input for you, important input for you. To have the lean file available, for example. How does the lean file really work? I need to guide you on that as well. So let's see how this VLOOKUP works. Equals VL for VLOOKUP, find the name, comma, pick up the range from here. Don't try to pick up the range from here. I'll show the example shortly. It will actually bring a bigger file in that case. Don't make a bigger size. As I told you, we make economy size Excel sheets and PowerPoint files also economy size. So if I have my range available here, it should be starting from the column of the search value here. It should be starting from there, comma. I want column 6 in that case. That's 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 over here. So I'll place 6 in this case over here, and then a comma. Space is not a problem. We can have space or no space, absolutely fine. False, I want the value here, false, for example. That's an exact match. We can see that over here. It's an exact match for false. Close the bracket, enter, we get the answer here. That's the answer for Arnab. To verify anything, for example, this sheet, this file, that file, I can go to the source and write one there, press enter, come back and verify if my result is matching or not. I can then press Ctrl Z. It's easily available there. And then I can have my formula set in this case, apply like this. And show the VLOOKUP appearing like that. That's how VLOOKUP can work. And I can go for the next column like, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I want fourth column, for example. And here the other talk I did earlier, number 4, will come quite handy. What was that? Let me tell you. Right click, select a sheet, click OK and go here. I'll post it over here. This can be date to number also, or percent to number. So if I try that here, for example, for the date available there, and try that, for example, for this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Third column here, for example, I can go in and type in third column here. What do I get? I get the date in the form of a number. If you recall, I tried that in the filter section also, and I got that as a number over there. I had to change that to the date format. And what did I do? Either home general short date or number to date is format cells. So I can go here, right click on this, format cells over here, and I can go to the date here. The first date is the right date for my Excel. Everybody's Excel in that case. Click OK and I get this over here. But when I go back to save here, for example, I can see that it will not change the format now because it is now a date format, 6 now, and I get the answer in 6, which is my date format. So convert that to the date or percent to number using Control Shift N. wave sign, that's available over here. Control Shift and the wave sign here. Control Shift and the wave sign here, that's what we can see. So I can apply Control Shift and wave sign. It's below the escape key normally in the standard keyboards. And I can see the value appearing over here directly in this case. So if I try that here and say the prompt here, apply VLOOKUP to find sale for Arnav. It does search the data automatically, which is above the VLOOKUP search I'm doing. It says B22 to J23. So it's saying B22 to J23, but that's my table. Can you get this? It cannot search the data because it's saying I need the data selection over there, but it does work without the selection also. We have seen some advanced parts available there. I'll discuss that subsequently. So in this case, you can see I've got my VLOOKUP working fine for my manual intervention over here. So as I give that here, for example, trying to work on the data, we'll work on the prompts for the below section over here. But right now we got this available in this case. We look up like this, and this is the way we can convert the data with the shortcuts available here. One thing I mentioned very clearly, I don't have to make a selection from here. That becomes a big file size, for example. That becomes a very big file size in Excel. 2 MB, 3 MB can become 30 to 40 MB. I'm not overseeing the numbers over here. It does become that big. My Excel files are quite lean. My PPT files are quite lean. Have a look at this. If I go here for the PPT file here, which is like, if you consider your PPT when you make a PPT, for example, if the number of slides is about 20 or 30, for example, and we make PPT across twice in a month, for example, that means 20 slides in a go, and that makes about 30 to 40 MB sometimes, and sometimes that makes 15 to 20 MB also. But my PPTs, if you give me 20 slides, I'll not even go to 3 MB. Yes. I'll not even go to 2 MB. Yes. Including high density pictures. Look at this example. So the cheat sheet you were saying earlier, for example, can come from Excel also. I've got my Excel also available there. That's a huge file. Power BI in this case is containing 163 slides available there. Let me show you. I'll come back to Excel straight after this. It's loading. And that's 163 slides available over here. 163 slides available over here. And see, these are the pictures I have. That's a picture. That's a picture here, here, and here. And once it blows up, it shows quite a decent display. It's not even breaking up. It's not granulating over here. It's quite a decent display available there. Go to fit option there. So it fits that over there. And other pages are decently given with the pictures and quite a number of annotations over there with the arrows, quite a load in the file. So 163 slides, what should be the size of the data? I don't want you to guess on that. Let me tell you. The size of my file, 163 slides in this case, is only 14.6 MB. Yes, 14.6 MB. 50 slides is under 5 MB. 100 slides is within 10 MB. And 150 slides is within 15 MB. That's how I make my slides. So that's how I make my PPTs also. So this will actually be a detailed chapter on Excel also. I've got so many sheets available there. I'll have to collect those sheets for cheat sheet, for charts only, I'll give it to you. So give me some time, I'll send it across, no worries. So that's a big data variable that we can see over there. And this one I've not saved so far, for example. If I save that by Copilot, for example, and let's quickly save it in our folder that we made over here. That goes for how much size? 5 MB. Can you see that? 5 MB on 19 slides. Quite a reasonable go with the trend that we normally have, 5 MB. But my 50 slides make up 5 MB. So we'll learn all these subsequently when we go for PowerPoint session, back to Excel. Oh, it's closed. Yeah, it's open. Yeah. So that's what we see in this case here. And XLOOKUP comes in something like this. If I try this over here, it has a search column available there. and the return column available there. That's important to understand. So when I apply my X over here, for example, not X lookup here with the name search in this case like this, comma, and then I pick up my search column in this case. Whatever I search, I pick up a search column here like that, comma, the return column is this, close the bracket and get the answer. Same answer here, same answer here. If I try James here, for example, get the same answer here. Okay, so XLOOKUP can work something like this. I can have my format available like that. First part is my search value, which is this one, James. And the next part is my column for James, that is my name column. And third part is my output that I want over here. In case I want to change the output here, I don't have a number here. What do? I can simply go to the top. If there are 50,000 rows also, no worries. I can go here and drag it like that and use this column as my answer, enter, and I get this answer. Okay, let's go. So prompts on this here that can fairly work fine for me. If I try this, for example, apply a formula in D58. This is D58. This is D58 to find the name. That's outside the table. See, I told you it works sometimes. If it doesn't work now, it's not my fault. It's still making up on that, okay? But it did work sometimes, okay? Let me try that again. Apply a formula in D58 to find the name. And I didn't say VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP. Okay, let's see if it works. I'll copy that here. Clipboard, Control V here. It doesn't work. So it says B58. B58 is this one. That's okay. B38 to H52. It should be fine. Oh, it's taken the wrong cell. Let's push it over here. That small change we have to apply. C58. Maybe I mentioned over here. Okay, 58. That was missed over here. Okay, communication error. Okay, maybe my fault. So if I get this over here, it's not taken that correctly. Because of that reason, it's not taken that correctly. It should be taken from there. It doesn't work correctly. No, it doesn't. So it can give me a kind of a XLOOKUP over here. Maybe I'll try that again. So let's delete that here. Let's put that direct in that case. No, it doesn't. It works the same way as it worked earlier. It doesn't work fine. It's taken from B column, no, it's not fine. So it gave me the answer properly. It gave me an XLOOKUP answer in that case, which I can of course try over here. So XLOOKUP can work reverse also. For example, I can try like that. Say this is my sale, for example. So I'll pick up this answer over here, comma, then I pick up this answer over here. It gave me this answer itself. But now it doesn't. So since I have to go down, I have to really lock my cell, in this case, the range entirely like that. F4, then we go here.
Could you, when you get a chance, I don't remember this command. Sometimes I have my list could be like 4,000 or 5,000 rows. How do you go from top row to the bottom, the command? So when you do, I just don't remember it. Like say from C38 to C52. To one row at a time, one column at a time. I don't remember the command. Yeah. Sometimes, what's the command to do the full row?
Control Shift down arrow.
Full column. Control Shift down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Control Shift.
And that'll control the full column. Okay.
Yeah.
Control Shift. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Jay, like if we have like multiple values, for example, if 64200, was linked with Rajesh and Daniel both, then I think this formula is not going to work, right? Because you don't have a unique kind of combination.
Yeah, it'll stop at the first entry. It'll stop at the first entry. So I've got multiple Daniels here, for example. I can try this in this case. So if I've got Daniel here, for example, same filter function will work fine for me. I can try filter in this case. I'm not saying what you're saying. I'm not saying that thing. I've answered that already. If there are multiple 64,000 over here, it'll stop at the first 64,000 and not go for the balance. That's what I'm saying. That's your call. My additional call is this, that if I have to have my multiple names here, for example, I can pick up the output like that, comma, the input like that, equal to the input like this, and enter, I get all the entries over here. And if I add another dangling here, for example, like this, towards the end also, it picks up the data automatically. Although my data is not data formatted, but because it's part of my data, that is why it is picking up. Okay, so this I can apply with the filter section available there, which we normally apply with the filter available like that. That's how we do it. That
So
gives
you
us the
have
idea
to
about
manually customize it.
Sorry.
You have to manually customize everything.
Yeah, sometimes we have to. Yeah,
Okay.
Copilot is still emerging to be a
Mhm.
matured output giver in that case. So that's about VLOOKUP. It's got many, many options available, very smart options available across. We don't have time for that, but it's really smart to do a lot of work in Copilot also. Index and match, it doesn't work sometimes. It doesn't give me the answer. Use the given data, then IDs, quarter range, price selection, display name, the JSON column. So I can try this and we quickly go for the balance. The balance part is actually a very short one over here, but I'll just place it here, for example, like that. Now it's working on the real data. Yeah. The cell is selected over here. Although I have that column available there, but I can try that here and work with that. No, it doesn't. It's stuck on that particular formula that had been made earlier, stuck on that column 2 only. So let's forget it for the time being. Yes, we can't depend on Copilot so much so far. Yeah, we have that slight issue sometimes.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start. Of course, it's a good start. Okay, when we started Excel, way back, many people had the calculator by the side of it, checking if Excel is calculating correct or not. But then that happens. People have their apprehensions. It's quite normal. Yeah, it's a good start.
Mhm.
Very good start, of course. So this part we did earlier only. This is the macro data. So in this case, what we did is, for example, I got my north and the south data available over here. So this is a double line. Remember, I mentioned we can have double line answers also. So I pick up this, create a macro for this, and then I'll pick up this. Apply this here. Enter. It creates a code. Right or wrong right now, doesn't matter. It created a right code earlier, which I've copy pasted already. If it works fine for now, it is fine. Otherwise, I'll show you that is the code it's created. That's the code it created. So we must know how the macros actually work. The code it created earlier is there with me. I'll not copy and just try to struggle again with that. So if I go here, for example, there is no North Street there. It is there. I'll have to rename that. So I'll say 1 East.
I think that was a question I asked with the macros. I didn't know how to do that on.
Oh, I see. Please try that. Yeah, it should be supporting because it did support me in the afternoon, but it doesn't sometimes. We have the, yeah. So let's go back here. Assuming that is the copied data, for example, if I copy that again, for example, copy, we got to go to Alt F11 and go to open the macro sheet over here and then paste it over here. That's it. Split data by this. And then if I try that over here, this macro code working, forget that. This
I'll go back and try that later.
Yeah. So you remember,
Okay.
I've renamed my North sheet over there. I click on that,
Mhm.
pasted that, working, please work, please work. A lot of work to do. I understand that. Thank you. North over here, this is North data. And that is my South data. Cool. That's the work it's done.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's got it away. I'm sending this file to you across in this case. The last two topics are quick, short in this case.
Thank you.
Okay, RB. This is solver. We tried the prompts. In this case also, it doesn't work fine for the solver. It sticks, I had so many prompts this morning. So it's stuck with the prompt of VLOOKUP also now. It doesn't work with that correctly. So solver is a data analysis tool over here. This here, solver, and the analysis tool here. For histogram also, it's here. But then when we go for this tool, it doesn't work with Copilot directly in this case. I tried a number of times, not only earlier also, it doesn't work correct. So I have to give my solver manually in this case. That is the way it is to be done. That's a little head away for Excel Copilot right now. So it will mature and become better in that case, I'm sure, for some times to come. So some solver techniques can be applied from here. This is solver, this is analysis tool pack. That's how it really works. Got some support available for solver available there, and some loan assessments over here. That's a goal seek support, and that's a solver, and that's a histogram. Histogram can be made directly. Don't go for solver. Sorry, don't go for the data analysis for histogram over here. That doesn't work really well. That's a quite old tool available there. It doesn't work really well. But if I go for a histogram in a flat chart, pivot table doesn't make histogram. If I go here, recommended chart, doesn't have histogram. No, I go here, pick up a histogram here. That's what it is. That's a histogram. It doesn't work with pivot table. So leave aside the Copilot supporting that. In the histogram, we see the count available of the distribution of the data across, and the labels indicate to us how these counts show up. So in the given range, there are 1 people, there are 6 people, there are 10 people. That means the highest is here. You can see by the graph also, by the number also. And we can change the bucket size also here. Going to the options here, I can go to the options here. I can change the bucket size here. I can have the bins available by the number. I want 4 bins, 5 bins. I can go by the category. I can go by automatic system, which it made earlier, and the choice can be ours. Assessment of the distribution of the data can be done for histogram.